where have I been? I've been around and quite a lot has been happening. I haven't been quite in the space to shoot a diary entry. The last time we had a chat was about me, possibly organizing, preparing to go to an NBA game. I really wanted to go for one. It was happening in March. I had bought the tickets and everything, but then I found out there are new rules and regulations for such things as festivals and these venues. Like, you gotta have clear bags and all these rules. And I did not have a clear bag. I had a backpack and I really was not prepared for that at all. I could not imagine not being able to carry my umbrella, my eyeglasses. Okay, my bank card and my ID I could probably keep to myself, but like my glass case, I can't see. I'm not about to go to a game and not see. I guess I'll not have to buy a clear backpack, especially when I've made it like a goal that moving forward I'd like to be outside more, like to experience. From 2023 to now, I've buried myself heavily in my academics and work, so I haven't been really lively as much. The good thing is I got to go out on that event that I mentioned in my old diary entry, that the Nomuzi and my friends event, because they had a record out. Pushy Dust, you might have seen it somewhere. It was a pretty dope event. So that was a taste of me being outside much. But I didn't end up going because of those rules. I looked at them, it's inconvenience, and for some reason we were experiencing hectic power cuts for the past 2 weeks at that time. So much was happening at the time because I got work delayed. There was some research participations I needed to contribute and didn't end up doing that because of the power cuts. And it was my outing. I had to cancel it because I couldn't iron my clothes. Also, the venue had crazy rules. I'm just like, bad day for me. But one of my friends managed to organize somebody that bought the ticket for me, and he went at the game show and he told me he had fun, which I was very jealous. I was very jealous. But the next season, I'm definitely catching it. NBA, I'm outside. It was the ball, NBA the ball event. So yeah, I did do the thing that I said I will do, taking responsibility for, trying to be in alignment with my taxes and compliance, everything, and in the process of shutting down or deregistering my businesses, because the phase that I'm in, I kind of need not have any businesses registered in my name. I went to the SARS office, tricky place, but I got a consultant that was quite helpful, explained quite a lot of things I kept asking her, because tax education, most of us don't have it, okay? And I attended a webinar I mentioned in the last diary entry, and I could say I got fairly good help, but definitely I still need a whole lot of tax education moving forward. I really want to do things the right way, proper structure, because I had, from all the information I gathered, I had an idea about exactly how I'd like to structure things moving forward. And I asked that lady, and she's like, yeah, you can definitely do that. And that's the similar explanation I got from somebody else. I really want to build structures for myself and the new HR I'm really aiming to have on board, because it's time to not go solo. It's time to grow wings. For now, the phase I'm at, I have to deregister those businesses. I went, was told what to do. I still have to go back again and file everything that I was told to file, and then get the result from them, the reports from them, and then go back to the office that deregisters companies. Then I can be formally deregistered, and then go back to them again, and then get the tax numbers deactivated. It's a whole process. It's 2 years. But yeah, that's where I'm at. At least I've taken the first step. When time opens up for me again, I was told that I really need to get the early mornings and like just dedicate the whole day to sorting out my affairs. So when the time allows again, which I really intend for it to be soon, I'm gonna do that. So that's what I did. Exciting things happened for me in April and March. I've been heavy on the job hunting, job searching. I've been getting yays, I've been getting whole lots of no's, and getting ghosted. The good side, I got a job interview at a very great company that does animation. If you look at my bio, you do see that I am a lover of anime. So it's been very fascinating to explore animation in the context of Africa. If you go through my social media content, you might have seen I'd explored events such as I'd explored events such as the Afro Geek. I was very excited about going to the Comic Con Africa, but I didn't end up going because, again, school was in my way. Had to cancel, and I had a legal project to head up at that moment. Ended up regretting because I cancelled for such a fumble nonsense. But anyway, yeah, those are the spaces that really excite me. And even the gaming space, animation, gaming. So that company, I'm trying to set this camera right. I don't know. Okay, I think this is one. So that company does animation, VFX, and like gaming as well. Like that's the territory, and it's a South African company. It was really cool. I had an interview. It was a tricky one in the aspect that it's in a territory I've never done before. It's an internship, so I really was just shooting my shot based off the fact that it's in the legal sector and it's an internship. I feel like we should be open to learning. I answered things to the best of my ability, though some parts I feel like formal interviews like really stress me out. I don't know how to express myself best. Informal settings, uptight settings, but they were not that uptight, honestly. They were not that uptight, so I guess I did fairly well. But sometimes I would trip up, man. But yeah, I guess I did okay. So it was great. It was the beginning of April. I really was looking forward to getting feedback from them pretty soon. Whether they've accepted me or not, I don't know. The process was explained to me that they'll pick the top 3 to go to the offices and then they'll decide from there. And it's been cricket since. On the positive, I had a job interview, which is very rare to have in this economy. I have not had a job interview since 2024. That's how rare it is. I recently emailed them also to follow up. Both the people that were interviewing me, which included the founder, the co-founder rather, and some of the HR staffs and the emails that were used to put out the posts for application purposes, and there was nothing. So I called in, and one of the HR guys says, "Oh, they're still deliberating," and then he took my name down and said he'll get back to me. Never got back to me. So I guess I will have to annoy them again next week to get an answer out of them if they'll give me an answer, and if not, we keep it moving. And then I got a VAC work proposal. So I identified some, like on LinkedIn, when some of the law students that I follow like some posts, you know how LinkedIn snitches, like it shows you what what other people are liking. So there's a particular law firm I identified from some my connection liking, and I checked it out and I saw that they have a practice in IP, which is my specialization. So I decided to send them an unsolicited application for being a CA, and I sent it out to them, and I think it took about a week. I really don't remember. It didn't take that long. They got back to me and they invited me for VAC work, which was very exciting. Went on communicating over the time, and we decided the dates that I would come, which was towards the end of April, and I did my VAC work. I liked the law firm. There were positives. There was one negative. Actually, there was 2 negatives. One that really made me uncomfortable was that I was the only black lawyer in the building. But I feel like I've been warned about the territory that I'm picking to specialize in. I've been told that it's a male-dominated area. Already the law field is male-dominated, but especially commerce and like intellectual property, very male-dominated and very white male-dominated. Yeah. So I went. I was the only black woman. There were other 2 white girls for me, and we were 3 VEC work students there. So VEC work is kind of like an in-person interview where, of course, they've seen your CVs, of course, they've seen how impressive you guys are, and they invite you over and they give you a couple of tasks, and they get to assess how you perform, as well as to check out if they like your vibe, if you guys have chemistry, if you guys could work well, if you fit in their office culture, their firm culture, whatever they're looking for. And at the end of the entire run, usually towards the end of the year, they'll make an offer to the candidates that they identified that like to take on for the CA role. Which I'd evidently seen that people that go for VAC work with them, they do get retained. However, in my research, in my searching rigorously over the internet, I've never seen any black face that claims to have done VEC work with them, nor have I seen a VEC student that got retained by them and is black. And the firm has existed for 20 years. That is 10 years post apartheid South Africa, which is worrying. Okay, that made me a bit anxious. I cannot say I experienced any prejudice whatsoever. The climate was fine. I also did my own to try and reach out to the partners one-on-one outside the group setting where they'll ask us questions to try and converse with us. But I also went to the particular partners I identified, and or they mentioned in passing that they specialized in the fields that I care for, because I made my field of interest known right out the jump. I never want to be buried or just put in a corner of generalization. General practice is not a smart thing in this economy. I think it's okay for people who are still exploring what they want, which the other two girls were like young, way younger than me. They were in their early 20s. So, of course, they're still exploring. At that age, when I was their age, I was already running my company and doing other things. Like, my interest was set, you know. However, I was not particular about what field of law I wanted to practice. So after all my experiences in my early 20s, that's what well informed my choice now. So they need to go through that in their lives, which is unfortunately for them through practicing generally and then discovering which one works for them. Some don't even choose their passions, but they choose what they mostly get briefed for. And that becomes their, their field of practice. Yeah. I've seen like people post like pictures when they go on VEC works. I feel like I'd like to hold my cards close to my chest and not really reveal, because I feel like I have an understanding that everybody's watching and I wouldn't necessarily want to reveal which firms are possibly starting me or I'm possibly pursuing, because then it's competition and so much more. So yeah. I feel like I'd rather reveal that at the end of the day, wherever I get retained, if I get retained to be an attorney, a candidate attorney, which is not the goal. Remember I said the goal is for me to be at the bar. So as of 3 days ago, bar applications for one bar have opened for pupillage. I downloaded the new recent forms, went through it to see what's required. I'm here to compile all those documents for me to go certify them and then fill in the forms and all the required to go hand it in. I don't think I should be, emailing it. I don't know. I'll figure it out, because there's some things that look like you can't necessarily email, like clipping your photo there, because they ask for your ID size photo. I don't know why. Are we in a beauty contest? These people confuse us. But yeah, that's where we're at. So a lot has been really happening in terms of like pursuing my academic career and trying to find a balance. We've entered exam season. I'm yet to finish the draft of my dissertation. These next few days, I feel like from today and the entire weekend, I'm gonna be working on finalizing my dissertation, because by the end of this month, I should be handing it in, and my exams begin from the 21st. I'll be writing my first paper. So it is one hectic May for me. May is just exam period for me throughout, and the 3rd of June. Yeah, and that's when my exams end. But I can't wait for this year to speed by real fast for me to be over with, because I was bummed when I found out, like, damn it, there's 2 more modules I need to repeat. Which therefore forced me and to like push other modules into the next semester. I cannot finish now in the first semester. Yeah, I got held back by another 6 months, which pushed me to a whole other year. Like, things cannot go according to plan when you're at this university. It's a pain in the ass, but I can't wait to be done with them. I feel that anxiety, and also just the testimony of other people at how they would be so slow at like handing them their transcripts and declaring that they completed their degrees, which is very necessary for jobs procuring. and just the lot of graduation being a mess. Lord, I just don't want that chaos. Whatever happens, I just need for things to go right. I don't want anything to disturb me. And I'm just crossing my fingers that somehow I make it to the bar. And if it's not the bar, maybe it's being an attorney. Maybe I'll get, retained as a candidate attorney. And if that's not the way, I'm definitely reverting back to my lane, which is in business, running my home consultancy. That's the game plan. I'm pursuing my legal license for the sake of expanding my practice, because there's non-litigious matters and there's litigious matters. And I'm pursuing my license for the litigious matters part. But if all that has to be postponed, it's not the end of the world. I still have plans to pursue and go on with my life. But it will be a great blessing to learn the bar, the making of advocate more highly, as I've always envisioned it. It will be beautiful. So in all of this, can you imagine the attempt of trying to make content has been pretty slow. I have ideas, but I don't know. I don't know if I can do that right now. I don't know. Maybe second semester when things are a bit less pressure exerting. I don't know. But I do know that I have this deep-seated yearning to create and to express things I want to express creatively outside the whole, legal journey I just explained. Because Ginsu is and will always be the beautiful creative space of my expression and connectivity and community. However, there is real adulting life, which I have a career and businesses to run, and I'd like for that to take precedence over everything. But yeah, that's where I've been. That's what's been happening with me. Let me just again emphasize on how tough the job market is right now. It is brutal. Do you know when you wake up and you check your email and you're kind of hoping like for something? And I'm always that person that's like, God, I need something positive to happen to me today. Like, it is so bad that I take a rejection as a positive. Like, it gives me relief that day when I receive an email, whether it's an acceptance or rejection. Even if it's a rejection, it's a relief to me. It makes me feel like I have progressed. We are way past another rejection. We're moving forward. We're failing forward. But if it's like crickets, it feels like I've done nothing. And that's the frustrating part. It's like, oh, these people can ghost you. And it's so frustrating how they lack communication. It's like, man, just reject me. Then they'll pull jobs at their own discretion and only to re-advertise them again. It's like, I don't know what mess is going on in the job market, but it's not cute at all. And right now, South Africa is going through a very, very hectic period. The legal sector is going through a hectic period, but a very necessary one. And we just, y'all have heard the struggles I relate about being a black lawyer, but not only being a black lawyer, but being a black woman lawyer in South Africa is like insane. So y'all have seen the whole BEE sector case and the law firm squabbling over that. I'm not gonna deliberate about that. If you're interested to check it out, you can check it out. The news are everywhere. Social media will show it. But we can only cross our fingers and pray for the best outcome. If it's truly gonna be our best outcome, because being here long enough has taught me quite some really certain harsh truths, especially when factoring capitalism into it. So we'll see. But yeah, that is something very necessary. Very, very necessary. But yeah, that's where I've been. That's where I've been. I don't know when I'll make another diary entry, but that's where I've been. Yeah. Anyway, that's it from me to you. Till next time. I'm out. Peace.